Hello everyone, I'm Tabitha with Moonlight Custom Creations, and today we are doing a mermaid scale tumbler. I am so excited for this tutorial because I think these tumblers are absolutely gorgeous. So let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead, let's get started.
What we have here is a 20-ounce skinny from Maker Flow Craft. My link for them will be in the description box below. And I also found a mermaid scale template off of Cricut Design Space, and I cut that out with my Cricut. I'm also going to use double-sided tape that I got from the Glitter Grind and this Opal Magic paint that transitions from teal to pink that I also got from the Glitter Grind. And my link for the Glitter Grind will be in the description box below as well. So what you want to do is you just want to start at the bottom of your tumbler with the double-sided tape. And what I like to do is just go ahead and start it with it still on the roll, and I will wrap it around my tumbler here. And then once I get to the other side, I will take my scissors and I will cut that off. That way the two ends are flush with each other. And then after that, I'm just smoothing everything out, making sure that there's no bubbles or anything. And you want to continue with the double-sided tape all the way up to the tumbler, all the way until you get to the top. And you just want to butt up that second piece up against the previous piece. And you just continue doing that all the way up the tumbler. Here's what the tumbler looks like after it's wrapped. I did leave a little bit of the rim exposed, only because I'm putting glitter up there, so it wasn't necessary to take the tape all the way up. Now what you want to do is I'm just taking my X-Acto knife here, and I'm taking off the top layer of the double-sided tape. I'm taking that off of the top two layers. And now I'm going to place the mermaid scales one by one, and you definitely want to make sure that this bottom row is straight. Otherwise, the rest of your tumbler will be off. So this is a very important step. So you definitely want to take your time here, making sure that they are straight. And I'm just taking one side and butting it up against the other side. That way the points meet. And after I place each scale, I will be pressing firmly to make sure all of the edges of the scale will be flat. And if this is easier for you, you can always use a cup cradle. I don't have a cup cradle. You could also use a towel if you want to, but I just went ahead and I just held the tumbler and placed them on with my other hand. Another good tip is if you take the bottom of the scale and you line it up with the bottom, that way it's kind of touching the bottom rim a little bit. That's how you know that your scales will be even as well with this bottom row. And you're going to continue doing this all the way up the tumbler. As you can see, I finished the bottom row of scales here. Now the space in between the scales is where you want to place your second row. You want to fill in that gap there. And that's how you're going to continue to go all the way up the tumbler. You want to fill in those gaps. So now I'm starting with my second row, and the points on the scales should line up with the other one. And you want to continue doing this all the way up the tumbler until you get finished. This process does take a while. It is kind of time consuming, but I guarantee it is so worth it in the end. It's absolutely gorgeous. Now that we finally have all of these mermaid scales on here, I'm going to seal this in. I'm using Mod Podge and my little Wet n Wild makeup brush. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lather on this Mod Podge all over these scales. You want to do this because if you don't seal the scales in, your epoxy can get under those mermaid scales and will start lifting. So you want to make sure that you're dabbing each one of those scales and getting that Mod Podge in there in all of those little crevices. So I'm going to go through, and I am using a lot of Mod Podge here, but I'm going to tap all throughout the tumbler just to make sure I get that Mod Podge in everywhere. I don't want any stainless steel exposed. I want it to all look white. And I do go through and I do this 3 times. I'm also making sure that the Mod Podge dries completely between each layer. So I will do a layer of Mod Podge, let it dry, and it takes about 10-15 minutes for it to fully dry. And then go in with another coat of Mod Podge, let that dry for 10-15 minutes, and then go in with my final coat of Mod Podge and let that dry. Since all of our Mod Podge is dry, now it's off to the fun part. I'm so excited. So I'm going to be using this Opal Magic. It shifts from teal to pink. And I'm also going to be adding some mica powders to this just to make sure that it really comes out. So I'm using the Chameleon Green, Periwinkle Glow, the Bubblegum Glow, and the Seafoam Green. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shake up my acrylic paint here, and I'm going to put it in a little cup. Now we're going to start adding the mica powders. I'm going to start off by adding some of this Seafoam Green, and I'm just taking my little spoon that came with the Arteza mica powders, and I'm going to add, I think 2 scoops to this mixture. I'm also taking a paper towel and cleaning off, that way I don't mix any of my mica powder. And then I'm taking about 1 to 3 scoops per each. I'm not putting much of the white in there because I still want to maintain some of that color. I just want to add a little bit more shimmer to this paint. Now that you have it all added, you want to take a little mixer and you want to stir up all of the mica powders in there and make sure it's very well blended. And that is absolutely gorgeous. Oh my goodness. And once this is on the tumbler, it's even more beautiful once it's on the tumbler. Now what you want to do is you just want to take that acrylic paint mixed with the mica powders and your Wet n Wild makeup brush and then just go to town on this tumbler. This is looking absolutely gorgeous. Oh, I'm so excited. All right, I will be back to show you the next step. Now that the paint is all dry, it's time to move on to the glitter. I'm so excited. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to use Afterglow from the Glitter Grind, and we're going to do a Tack It method over this paint. So I'm just using Aleene's Tack It over and over. I didn't water it down or anything like that. I'm just using it straight from the bottle into my medicine cup. I'm using my Wet n Wild makeup brush to apply it, and I'm just applying the Tack It over and over all over my tumbler. After I applied an even coat of the Tack It all over the tumbler, I like to take my heat gun and just speed up the drying process a little bit. So you just want to take your heat gun here and it speeds up the drying time. You do want it to dry clear, but it will be very, very tacky. I do apply 2 coats of Aleene's Tack It over and over, and I also dry in between each coat. So right here you see me drying it after the first coat. I'm going to apply a second coat and then take my heat gun again and dry that coat. Since our 2 coats of Tack It's dry, we're going to go in from this Afterglow from the Glitter Grind, and we're just going to coat our entire tumbler here. And you don't want to forget the bottom. You want to make sure that you have a pretty decent coverage. Now that we have our tumbler completely covered, you want to take your fingers and rub all over the tumbler. And what this does is it allows the glitter to lay flat, and it gives you that shimmer to the glitter. If you're using holographic glitter, it will give you a holographic look, but you don't want to use just a plain glitter. You won't get the same effect. Now that we've completed the tacket, we're going to go in with some Fantasy 2.0 from the glitter grind, and we're going to glitter the top and the bottom with some Mod Podge. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking a makeup brush and I'm just coating the entire tumbler with Mod Podge. I'm not doing the bottom because I'm not going to glitter the bottom. I'm going to leave that plain. I do like to glitter the whole thing because whenever I do the glitter at the top and the bottom and I let it fall towards the middle, I feel like if I just glitter the top and bottom, there's kind of a line. And with this, there's no line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slant my tumbler and I'm going to put it kind of high up. That way the glitter just kind of trickles towards the top of the tumbler here since we're doing the bottom. And now we're going to go in with the top and we're going to do the same exact thing, kind of slanting the tumbler and holding the glitter up pretty high. That way we get that glitter trickling down towards the center. Now, if you get any glitter that went down too far, you could always take your finger and kind of move that glitter here. See, like some of these glitter pieces, it got down too far and I didn't want it down there. So since the Mod Podge is still wet, I'm just taking my finger and moving that glitter. Now what you want to do is you want to let this dry and it's ready for epoxy. I will be back to show you the final result.
All right, everyone. Are y'all ready for the final reveal of this tumbler? I think this is absolutely gorgeous. Oh my gosh. The shift between like the color shift paint, the mica powders that we put on top of the tacket. Oh my gosh. And this glitter. Oh my gosh, this glitter. It's absolutely gorgeous. So gorgeous. This does have 3 coats of epoxy on it after we were all finished, and it is nice and smooth. I still need to clean up the rim just a little bit, but this tumbler is done. This tumbler is absolutely gorgeous, and I had so much fun making this. Absolutely amazing. Oh, I can't wait to make another one. All right, well, if you enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time. Thanks.